In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on June 28, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Pittsburgh Pirates versus Washington Nationals. The Pittsburgh Pirates continue their road trip up the East Coast as they travel from Tampa Bay to Washington, D.C. to take on the Nationals in a 3-game series that kicks off Monday night. The Pirates are languishing in 3rd place in the National League Central, far behind division frontrunners Milwaukee and St. Louis. The Nationals are in the midst of a major rebuild and sit comfortably in last place in the National League East Division. The Pirates will send lefty Jose Quintana to the mound, while the Nationals will go with fellow lefty Patrick Corbin of the Nationals. Pittsburgh is 0-4 in their last 4 games and 2-9 in their last 11 Tuesday games. The under is 5-2 in Pittsburgh's last 7 Tuesday games. Washington is 6-1 in their last 7 games against the National League Central and 1-6 in their last 7 Tuesday games. The under is 5-1 in Washington's last 6 games. Pittsburgh is 21-47 in these two teams' last 68 head-to-head meetings in Washington. Pittsburgh led for just about the whole game on Monday night before surrendering the lead in the 8th inning and losing by a score of 3-2. Pittsburgh will turn to Jose Quintana to bounce back from the loss. Home field usually represents an advantage, but in Washington's case, the Nationals have lost 8 of the last 9 at Nationals Park. Overall, Washington has lost 10 of the last 14. Pittsburgh starting pitcher Jose Quintana has had solid starts in each of the last 2 outings, allowing 11 hits and 5 runs in 11 1/3 innings with 11 strikeouts and 3 walks. Washington starter Patrick Corbin has been bounced around all season. Over the last 2 starts, the southpaw has allowed 15 hits and 12 runs in only 7 1/3 innings, while giving up 4 home runs. Washington lost each of the 2 games. The Pirates have won 5 of the last 7 head-to-head with Washington, so the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. The ball has been jumping off bats at Nationals Park in D.C. in the last 11 home games. The Nationals have allowed an astounding 25 home runs. They are also allowing 6.4 runs per game in the last 11 home games. In that same time span, the Nationals have hit 15 home runs themselves and have scored 4.7 runs per game. Quintana's ERA jumps to 4.44 on the road this season, and the Pirates will have to utilize a bullpen that has the 9th worst ERA in baseball. These are 2 terrible pitchers going up against 2 awful offenses. Over the last 30 days and against southpaws, the Nationals rank 11th in WRC+, posting an OPS over .800 during the stretch. Additionally, the Nationals have posted the 3rd worst reliever xFIP in MLB over the past month, alongside the worst reliever FIP and 5th worst reliever ERA. The Pirates are average on offense and average in the bullpen, but Quintana is due for regression, and the Nationals lineup and bullpen edges give me enough promise to believe that this one winds up being a high-scoring affair. Expect the ball to be jumping in Nationals Park tonight. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Red Sox versus Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays play host to Boston Red Sox on Tuesday night in the 2nd game of the 3-game series from the Rogers Center. The Blue Jays jumped out to a fast start to open the season, but the script has flipped as of late, as the Red Sox now find themselves as one of baseball's hottest teams. While catching the Yankees seems tough for now, there's little doubt that both those teams expect to find themselves in 1 or 2 of the wild card spots. Heading into Monday's series opener, the 2 had already played 7 times this season, with Toronto dominating so far, taking 5 of those. Tuesday's matchup expects to be more competitive than some of the others this season, but Toronto is likely to be feeling good on the home side. The Red Sox have been one of the league's best teams recently, posting a 19-5 record so far in the month of June. They have been relying on their red-hot offense to support their injured pitching staff that is currently missing Garrett Whitlock and Nathan Eovaldi. However, their offense was silenced by Kevin Gausman on Monday night as they scored just 1 run against the Jays, and their young pitcher Connor Siebold didn't help them out as he allowed 7 runs on 9 hits. The Red Sox may struggle to score in tonight's game as well as they face off against Ross Stripling, who has a 4-2 record and 3.08 ERA on the season. He will be making just his 4th start of the season after being inserted into the rotation. But he's been phenomenal in those starts as he's thrown 2 shutouts and only gave up 1 run and then 2 runs in the other 2 starts. Simply put, Stripling has been dominant as a starter in his 4 outings, and he should carry that success over into tonight's game. Opposing Stripling will be veteran Michael Wacha, who has found his groove in a Red Sox uniform with an impressive 6-1 record and 2.34 ERA. While he's arguably been Boston's most reliable starter, he's due for major regression moving forward. He has an expected ERA of 4.42, which is more than 2 runs higher than his actual ERA. And he also ranks in the bottom 30% of pitchers in XBA, XWOBA, K percentage, and chase rate. In other words, Wacha has been getting very lucky in many of his starts as he's not missing many barrels and is serving up plenty of hard contact, but has been fortunate to turn most of those hard-hit balls into outs. Sooner or later, those balls will start to fall for hits and Wacha will experience some problems. And that could come in this game against a dangerous Toronto lineup. The Jays just put up 7 runs last night, and the return of George Springer from injury only boosts their offensive potential. So look for Toronto to jump on Wacha in this game and rely on Stripling to lead them to victory. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. The Red Sox are averaging 4.81 runs per game and 4.89 runs per game on the road. They averaged 4 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Blue Jays, with Toronto giving up 4.74 runs per game at home. The Red Sox will hit their average in this game. The Blue Jays are averaging 4.71 runs per game and 4.60 runs per game at home. They averaged 2.67 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Red Sox. Wacha and Stripling combined for an ERA just north of 5, and with WHIP sitting right around 1. Getting much going on either end could be a challenge, adding in that many of the games this season have been low scoring between the 2 sides. Additionally, for the Red Sox, the under is 5-0 to 3 in their last 8 games against a starter with a WHIP less than 1.15. For Toronto, the under is also 5-0 in Stripling's last 5 starts with no days of rest, even though these 2 teams have been known for their run production on the offensive end this year. This one could be a pitcher's duel between 2 of the best in the American League. The Blue Jays and Red Sox played under the total in 5 of their last 7 meetings, with Boston giving up 3.46 runs per game on the road. The Blue Jays won't score enough runs to push the score. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Astros versus New York Mets. The tough road slate for the Houston Astros continues in Tuesday's series opener against the New York Mets. Houston took a clean 2-game sweep when the 2 interleague foes met up a week ago, before going on and splitting even with the New York Yankees over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Mets took care of business in a 2-1 series road victory over the Miami Marlins. Framber Valdez is expected to get the starting nod opposite of Mets starting righty Carlos Carrasco. Houston is 9-2 in their last 11 games against a team with a winning record and 25-10 in their last 35 games following a loss, while the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games following an off day. New York is 22-5 in their last 27 games following a loss and 23-9 in their last 32 home games, while the over is 5-0 to 1 in their last 6 interleague games against a right-handed starter. The Astros continue their stay in New York after splitting their series with the Yankees over the weekend. Houston took both games against the Mets last week at home and have gone 4-2 against New York teams over the past week. Despite the success, the Astros must be a little disappointed in themselves, as they had every opportunity to go 6-0 if not for blowing a 3-run lead in the 9th against the Yankees on Thursday and suffering an extra inning loss on Sunday. At the very least, they should have finished 5-1. The Mets, on the other hand, were able to rebound after suffering 2 losses to the Astros last week by taking 2 out of 3 against the Marlins over the weekend, but now have the Braves and Phillies breathing down their necks in the division. Tuesday's contest will feature a pitching rematch from just last Wednesday when Luis Garcia and Carlos Carrasco take the mound. While Garcia gave the Astros a solid outing, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits across 5 innings, Carrasco put the Mets in an early hole they were unable to dig their way out of. Carrasco got touched up for 5 runs on 3 HR and was yanked in the 3rd inning. Carrasco's ERA has now ballooned to 5.33 across 5 starts in June and 4.42 on the year. Overall, Garcia has been the more consistent and reliable arm for his team and had a solid outing his last time out against the Mets. The off-day Monday benefits both bullpens, but the Astros have the best bullpen in baseball, with a 2.75 ERA. I get the case to be made for the Mets here, but as good as Carrasco's been, he's struggled big time at home this season, and that's not good against a Houston team that can really crank out the runs and light up the scoreboard. Not only that, Luis Garcia's pitched well on the road, and I just believe that this is a spot where the Astros find a way to get the job done. The Astros hold an edge in starting pitching and their bullpen and should be able to leave Citi Field with a win, so the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. Framber Valdez has been a sensational road pitcher this season, while Carlos Carrasco is coming into this matchup unbeaten at home. As great as the Mets have been offensively this year, they were held to no more than 3 runs in back-to-back outings against the Astros a week ago. Runs aren't easy to come by against an Astros team allowing only 3.43 runs per game on average this season. I'm expecting for the Mets to tighten things up defensively in this game, with it taking place at Citi Field, so this won't be another offensive explosion for Houston. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.